Well, I had every intention of doing a video at Baltimore every day, but it was hard to do for some reason. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was just tired. I don't know. But so I did take some video. I didn't put it together and upload it. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit just about the show, just about some of the things I've noticed in conventions in 2017. And then I'm just going to put together just some miscellaneous videos that I took that I didn't use in just try to give you um, a taste of what would have been had I been on the ball. So Baltimore was fun. First of all, I got to share a table with Shannon Gallant, my GI Joe penciler. So the inside joke, he always tries not to say Brian's my inker. He's the inker. So I thank him by calling him my penciler. But I had a lot of fun sharing a table with him, hanging out. Pretty much the only time of the year we actually see each other. Chris went with me. We basically, we last year at Baltimore, after the show, we ended up at the hotel bar doing the bar con thing where you're trying to network and stuff. And I had an editor. Actually, I met like a PR guy or promotions guy, whatever, with a company, and he told me, I'm the last person that could probably help you in your career. But we talked and we chatted, had a good conversation. Well, the next day, an editor from the company came over and said, "Hey, so and so told me to come talk to you." And the guy was like, "Oh, well, we'll start you out with getting some covers and blah 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 blah." I was like, "Oh, that's great." Networking finally starting to pay off. Never heard a thing at all from them. So this year I went into this like, yeah, I'm just kind of over right now of going and trying to network at the after the show at the hotel bar and staying out till 1 or 2 and hoping you talk, because what basically happens is everybody talks to everybody they know already anyway, and half the people are drunk and you don't, I mean, nothing really, I've never really had anything come of it, honestly. And it may be just my personality and that I'm an introvert anyway typically, and anyway, so I actually had more fun just going back to the room and riffing on bad movies and stuff. So that's kind of what, and actually getting some sleep. So that was kind of where I spent most of my energies in Baltimore, just sitting at the table, doing commissions, and then just hanging out and telling myself I was going to eat well, and then instead ate way too many burgers and fries. But one of the things I've noticed just this year with shows is that I seem to be doing a lot less business this year at shows. And if it was just me, you have good years, you have bad years. You typically have good shows and bad shows. So I'll do a show usually and not do so great. The next one will be fantastic. Baltimore was a show the last 2 years I've done really well. One thing I did notice about Baltimore is there was no way to really orient yourself to what aisle you were in. There were no numbers hanging from the ceilings like there usually are at shows, so that anywhere on the floor you are, you look up, you see, where so and so's at table. We're at table 3011. Where's aisle? Where is that? Where's the kids section? Nothing except they had put at the very beginning when you walk in the lobby, they had put down on the floor. This is aisle 500, right? So the only way you could orient yourself at the show, well, using that would be to memorize it or go to the front. And if you missed it, you wouldn't know. So I couldn't even find, like, I had a hard time finding because we were in the kids love comics section, but there was no real way delineating what section that was. Where did that end? Where did that begin? What were the numbers? And so that was a little weird. I don't know if it's always been like that. I just didn't notice, but most conventions is very disorienting. So if I had to critique, Baltimore's a great show. I loved Baltimore. Fix that. The other thing was that there were a lot of people. There was a lot of people Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well attended. But like I said, people weren't buying as much. And several of the other people I've talked to said the same thing. My studio mate, Kelly Yates, said that it was off. He didn't do as well as he did last year. But looking back on this year, it's been that way at every show. So this year has been, I think, an off year overall. And if you're watching this and you do conventions, I'd be interested to hear what you think or what your experience is just in 2017 in particular. So a week from today, I go to New York Comic-Con. We'll see if that holds. That has been the most lucrative show for me and a lot of other people in Artist Alley. So I'm hoping that really kind of pays off, because that's an expensive show to do. But it'd be interesting to see actually what happens there if it continues through the year. I've got 2 more shows through the year. So sales for me been a little bit down on the convention side this year. So those were the 2 things I noticed. So I'm gonna drop in a couple of videos or a couple clips in this video. Just walking around Baltimore, hanging out, just the stuff that we did. All right, it is Friday at Baltimore Comic-Con, and you can't really tell it from the video, but the lights, half of them are off, and it's just dark enough to make me feel like I have cataracts. Take a quick walk through the Artist Alley. The dealers are setting up over there. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours before the show opens. And Artist Alley is pretty big.
There was a long explanation.
There's about an hour left in the show, and I was going to do more videos, but it kind of didn't happen. The scene with the lights is really interesting. I am tucked away over here. And Chris Canada is sitting down behind the thing. How's it going, Chris? Yeah, pretty much. Hello, sir. Would you like to buy my wares?
Sure.
Not for sale. Alright, so I totally botched the whole taking lots of videos on day 1 of Baltimore. I spent most of the day working on commissions, and it's a pretty decent Friday for a half of Friday, from I think 1 to 7, and crowd is kind of cleared out now because the show's about over. Maybe I'll get some more video later this evening. Oh, there's Randy back there. So it's the last Orioles game, home game of the season, apparently, and there's fireworks. And there's everybody's leaving, and all the restaurants are full. Well, Chris, what did you think of day 1?
I slept through most of it. Yeah, I know.
So, second year in a row, the fire alarm has been pulled, but about 30 minutes before the show opened. So we're all getting out of the building. In the Jaws 3D, starring me, Sir Michael Caine.
You were not in 3D. You were in 4.
I was in 4D, so I was in the 4th dimension. There I was, in Jaws 4D, in time and space, with the shark and Ella Brody, in the Bahamas, with me, Sir Michael Caine, as Hoagie, the lovable rascal with a heart of gold, flying the plane that Jaws built.
It was the 4th in the movie franchise. Yes, we know it's the movie franchise. We know it's the 4th in the Jaws movie franchise.
A lot of people know that. Jaws 3 was not the revenge. It was in 3D. But Jaws 4
was not called Jaws 4. But this is where it gets confusing. Because Jaws 4 was Jaws the Revenge, starring me.